Everyone is talking only about Bitcoin, but meanwhile, there's one altcoin up 120% in the last 30 days, and there's rumors that it could 10x from here. In today's news, we'll talk about what July 22nd means for the entire crypto space and why you shouldn't miss Stellar and Bittensor. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, Altcoin Buzz AO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright, good morning guys. So we are starting to pump back up again. We had an all-time high around $123,000. We came all the way down to under 116 yesterday, so we had a big sell-off, a little bit of correction, but we are continuing up higher. We are just under 119 before New York Open, and I think we are still in this we're pretty much following this to a T, this February 2024, which I marked out here. This is how we went up back in February. We have another one back in here in November, but I think this one's probably a little bit closer towards this one because this was due to the election. So this pump just went straight up. But this one I think is a little bit closer, and we seem to be following this pretty closely to a T. I mean, this is pretty spot on. So if we do follow this even more, I do expect us to go towards around $130,000 within the next week or two. And we do have a lot of big crypto legislation potentially coming out this week as well. So starting off, today marks the start of the crypto week in the US House of Representatives. Major bills, historic votes, a federal policy report just days away. Here's what's unfolding for crypto policy in America. So the House will vote on 3 bills. We have the Genius Act, which provides stablecoin regulation. We have the Clarity Act, which establishes a clear framework for crypto market structure. We have the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, which blocks government-run digital currency to protect Americans' financial privacy, and each one aims to fill gaps that have left crypto in regulatory limbo. So this post was on Monday, and now it's actually Wednesday, and a lot of these bills did not pass yesterday. So in the House, they had scheduled another procedural vote for tomorrow, which is today, basically nothing got passed, and people were voting against these bills. But there's an actual reason as to why they're voting against these bills. And so Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene says she voted no on the Genius Act because it does not include a ban on central bank digital currencies. So she said this.
President Trump wrote an executive order on January 23rd, and specifically on exactly what the Genius Act is about, except they did not include what was in his executive order, which is a ban on a central bank digital currency, which is extremely important, and the president feels it's important, and that's why it was in his executive order. And the Senate left that out, and then they sent this over to the House, and Speaker Johnson didn't allow us to do amendments to amend the bill to ban CBDC. And that's a House issue. It's not, I fully support the president. I will vote for the Genius Act when they ban central bank digital currency in the Genius Act. So we need to get it right. It shouldn't be run through and us forced to vote on something when they take away our right to amendment.
So I was seeing a lot of people who were pushing back on this, that it was like a bad thing to, not ban CBDCs, saying that, stable coins are already CBDCs. But I think she has a point. I mean, I agree with her that, if this was something that was supposed to be an executive order and it wasn't included in this bill, then yeah, they should kind of wait to do this, because people are saying, stable coins are CBDCs now because you can obviously freeze them if it's USDC and all this. But I think it's a little bit different. The fact that, the biggest fear of CBDCs is that, if you use too much gas in the month, the government turns off your bank account, or if you spend too much money on meat and you're not eating enough bugs, then the government takes, stops your bank account. It's this kind of thing where CBDCs are much more of a threat than stablecoins are. There's a whole bunch of stablecoins you can use, at least right now. And so while I understand that stablecoins are kind of like CBDCs, it's not the full CBDC that most people are actually worried about. And then we have what July 22nd means for crypto, according to crypto bank founder Caitlin Long.
One thing we haven't talked about yet, which is the report from the Treasury Department that's coming out on crypto on July 22nd, which is 180 days after the initial crypto executive order. And I am hearing rumors and believe very strongly that that is going to be a watershed event. And the stablecoin bill is out there in the mix as well. Those two things I think are going to massively change the dynamic in just the next few weeks. And I think a lot of folks who sat back thinking and hoping and praying that this would go away are about to be rolled over by an incredible wave of innovation that's coming from this industry.
And then we have Steve Grasso on CNBC talking about his Bitcoin price predictions and where he thinks it can go in the next couple of years.
I am a firm believer that it's going much, much higher from here. Think about corporate adoption. Corporate adoption is probably only about 2%. Central banks, only about 3%. Those are both going higher, much higher. Retail investors going much higher. So look at it through, I'll leave off with this. Look at it through the market cap of Bitcoin. That's around 2 trillion, let's say. Look at the market cap of gold. That's around 20 trillion. Maybe it doesn't have to be gold, but if it closes the gap to 50%, you're looking at $500,000 per Bitcoin. And I do think that in iShot, you're looking at 250, 350,000 pretty easily for crypto. There's a couple of things, a couple of hurdles, but I think those days of it losing 80% of its value and then rallying up are long gone. There's too many people that are looking for the asset.
Hey Americans, we found an exchange that gives you the best of both worlds. Want to trade spot markets on over 400 trading pairs and without KYC? You can. Want to trade perpetual markets on over 150 trading pairs with KYC that accepts Americans and Canadians as well? You can. The only exchange we've seen in the market that lets you do both simple spot trading without KYC and perps trading with KYC that Americans can use is BYDFi. And they have a great new promotion going on right now where you can win a Rolex. BYDFi gives you all the tools you need and without crazy requirements. BYDFi is the only tier 1 exchange that makes trading easier for users, especially in the spot market where no KYC is required. Its one-click buy is the ultimate inconvenience, while MoonX gives users the best of a DEX experience and the best of a centralized exchange experience, all within BYDFi. You can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or Hedera on the main exchange, or track your favorite meme coins and degen plays on MoonX. Both are here in the same place, and the two services are seamless and work together, all within your one BYDFi account. And right now, they have a great promotion going on where you can win some great prizes, including a Rolex. The promotion goes from July 3rd till August 3rd, so you have almost a full month to take part. After you sign up for your BYDFi Altcoin Buzz exclusive account, or log in if you already have one, here's what you do. If your futures trading volume is higher than $1 million, then you can win AirPods, and the prizes move up from there. The prizes include Apple AirPods, an iPad, a new iPhone 16, a cool Louis Vuitton backpack, and finally a Rolex Submariner with a retail value of $10,000. Those are some pretty amazing prizes for what you'd already be doing anyways by trading on a tier 1 exchange like BYDFi. So if you haven't checked out BYDFi yet, now's the time to try it. Make sure to use the Altcoin Buzz exclusive link to sign up to be eligible for the rewards. Don't KYC, and start trading to get your bonuses with the link down below. And then moving on to the altcoin of the day, we have a Stellar, which we've not talked about in a very long time. So Stellar's XLM is the next 10x altcoin of 2025. It's already up 120% in the past month after bouncing from the clean 0.618 fib zone around 19 cents. Now it's knocking on the door of 58 cents. If that breaks, we might be looking at a run towards $2 to $5 this cycle. Stellar, who's had insane DeFi TVL run up. Look at this. This is 2024 and this is start of 2025 right here. So since the beginning basically of 2025, we've had this huge run up in TVL from what is this, just under $20 million to now above $140 million. So a 7x in TVL in the past year and a huge run up in its price as well. We also have All in Crypto saying what's happening on the Stellar XLM testnet. On June 19th, 50,000 accounts. By July 14th, over 1.8 million test accounts. Dev activity is surging. Something is being tested at scale. The sandbox is heating up. Stay sharp. They want to be a top 10 chain in DeFi TVL. Currently, they're number 46. And then potentially the reason why Stellar is actually pumping, we have Dan Gambardella saying Fedwire ISO 20022 goes live tomorrow. And this is a very big deal for XRP, Stellar, Algorand, Quant, and yes, Cardano. Fedwire is shifting to ISO 20022, global financing messaging standard that flows data seamlessly across banks, institutions, and blockchains. Only a handful of projects are ISO 20022 compliant, and Cardano is one of them, and so is Algorand and Stellar. This means it's positioned to plug into this new era of financial interoperability. So this potentially is the reason why XLM is doing so well. And if we look at the chart here, this is absolutely insane. So this looks amazing actually. We are here, we've come into this level of resistance around 48 to around 50 cents. So we've spiked up into here. So the all-time high is actually back in January 2018, around 92 cents. And the most recent high was around November, back around at 63 cents. So if we go back to this chart here, I think we are going to break through this level here. We are consolidating underneath this level of resistance. So this is actually pretty bullish as we consolidate here. I wouldn't be too surprised if in the next couple of days when Bitcoin does continue higher, if we break back above here, reclaim this level of 50 cents, and then head towards at least the very minimum 63 cents, for this top here, but maybe towards the all-time high, towards 92 cents. Now they are saying, could we do a 10x where we go to $2 to $5? Definitely possible. The all-time high is around 93 cents. So it's not too far off. That's about 2x from here right now. I think we could go towards, at least $1. $2 possibly by the end of it. $2 to $5. I mean, $5 is a stretch. It's gonna have to really start doing some big things. But I think, there's a very good chance that this does a 2x to at least its previous all-time highs around 93 cents as well. I mean, this is a huge run. We went from just 22 cents a couple, days ago, it seems like, and now we're already back above 50 cents again. So overall, this looks good. Not too much to do here unless you want to just, potentially long here on spot and just hope that it goes higher. But I do think we probably either consolidate here a little bit longer and you can buy maybe down here around 42 cents, or you wait for it to reclaim this level because you then have a level of support for it to hold. And then you can, long potentially back above here and put your stops below whatever this consolidation is, whether it's the 43 cents, something like that. And then you long back towards, the highs around 93 cents. Something like that is another possibility as well. But overall, XLM looks good. It just went this entire range in one foul swoop. It did this entire move. So I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to push higher over the coming days and weeks. And then we have Solana saying real-world assets on Solana have exploded past 418 million issued, up 140% year-to-date alone. From tokenized treasuries to Tesla shares, the best assets want to be on Solana 24/7. We also have Solana Floor saying, in the last 7 days, over 125 million bridged from other chains to Solana, including 70 million plus from Ethereum alone, a growth of nearly 40% compared to last week. So we have a lot of money bridging back into Solana. And then Solana says Solana powers 24/7 internet capital markets, with Nick Dukov saying this.
Yeah, it's really been incredible. As you mentioned, there's nearly $500 million of RWA TVL on the Solana blockchain, which is an incredible amount of growth over the last couple of years. And just to put it in perspective of how early we still are, there's over $10 billion in stablecoins on Solana. So while there's a $500 million of RWA, there's 10 billion or 20 times as many stablecoins on Solana. And so I think there's just so much more room for growth in the coming months and years.
And lastly for Solana, with the NASDAQ listed UPEX files for an additional $200 million in private placement to buy more Solana for its treasury. It expects to hold about 1.65 million SOL after closing, more than doubling its previous balance of 735,000 Solana. So they are starting to hold Solana as a treasury asset, and Solana is actually looking pretty good here, actually. I really like this area we're in right now. If we can close a daily candle and hold above this 165 level, I do think we are going back towards 183 very soon. So it looks something like this, where you put your take profit around 183-ish, 184. You put your stops below this this little expansion candle we had here, this little low. And I think that's probably a pretty good trade right there just to this next high. We can talk about what happens after that once we get there. This could be a whole other trade going back here from around 184 back to the what is this, 216 zone, this next level. That's a whole other trade. But overall, I like Solana a lot. I think we're starting to finally pick up some momentum again. And this looks really good on the high time frames. And then another coin we haven't talked about in a while, we have a Bittensor's TAO, which is up 34% in the past 7 days. It's above $430. And the main reason why is we have NVIDIA to resume AI chip sales to China after CEO Huang met with Trump. So the US now plans to grant export licenses, reversing the April ban that cost NVIDIA $5.5 billion in write-offs. It halted $15 billion in potential sales over national security concerns. So NVIDIA will be continuing its AI chip sales, and that is also good for AI companies like Bittensor. We also have Masari saying NASDAQ-listed Oblong eyes $7.5 million Bittensor TAO treasury strategies. And now, while $7.5 million isn't a lot, it is a good start to this. I mean, I think it's one of the first to have a Bittensor part of their treasury strategy. We have Hyperliquid, we have SUI, we have Solana, ETH, and Bitcoin, and now potentially Bittensor TAO treasury strategy. It'll be interesting to see what NASDAQ listed stock companies do with these holdings as we go into the bear market. If they continue to buy more, if they sell these off, it'll be interesting because we have now a lot of stocks actually holding a lot of crypto assets on their balance sheets. Now, Bittensor's TAO is looking very good here. I was thinking it would be nice if we consolidate here and then you could take a position and then, head target back up here. But I don't think it's going to stop. I think it's going to go straight up here and then maybe has a little bit of a, consolidation underneath and then most likely shoots back up again as they continue to do. One thing you'll notice a lot is when we are in these very bullish periods, especially with Bitcoin making new all-time highs, what it tends to do is it doesn't give this perfect retest, which I like to take, where we come back above, we do a retest. Usually what it does is instead, it comes up into this level of resistance it hovers underneath it for like a day or so, and then just blasts through this level of resistance. And so it doesn't give you this nice retest that I like. So one thing you can do is you can watch if we come back up here. If we don't immediately reject, if we don't immediately come back down here like this, one thing you can do, and this applies to all altcoins, is when we come up here, if we are consolidating for, a day or so, it's probably a pretty good area to take a, long position and then put your stops very tightly underneath here, because usually what happens is it just blasts through this level and doesn't give you a nice little pullback. And then lastly for today, we have SpoonOS teams with Fluence to boost decentralized computing. So this partnership marks a significant leap forward for SpoonOS, as it allows its community to deploy AI agents with enhanced performance and flexibility. By integrating Fluence's infrastructure, SpoonOS aims to empower developers with a seamless way to access powerful decentralized computing. This comes without the usual complexity. Fluence operates a decentralized infrastructure as a service platform, offering enterprise-grade virtual servers distributed across thousands of nodes worldwide. With over 10,000 active nodes and partnerships with major infrastructure providers, Fluence delivers a network that combines reliability, scalability, and affordability. And by integrating with Fluence, SpoonOS developers now enjoy on-demand computing power directly within their development environment. This plug-and-play layer removes the traditional DevOps hurdles, allowing devs to focus on creating AI agents rather than managing infrastructure. So that is SpoonOS and Fluence, and that is the video for today, guys. I think we are going much higher for Bitcoin, at least toward this 130 in the next week or two. I think we're at least going to be in the mid 120s by the end of this week. I think we are going. I mean, we already there, a couple of days ago at 123. So I think we head back up to this area. It looks most likely that like this February 2024 fractal to me. So I do think we continue to play this out. I mean, it looks pretty close to me. If we just hover this over, it's like the same exact thing right now. It's pretty wild what fractals can do. But I think we probably play this out very similar to February 2024. Head back up here, and altcoins will hopefully continue to pump as well. So you're going to be wanting to watch a bunch of altcoins today. Ones we talked about, whether it's Stellar, whether it's Sui, whether it's Bittensor, XRP, they're all doing well. So whatever setups you can find, I think this is the time to be active and engaged in the markets, because this is the time that we've been waiting for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.